Hello, this is Steffen Kummerer of Thulcandra and Obscura, and you're watching Metal Impact channel.
Hey guys, we are here with Steffen Kummerer from Obscura and Thulcandra again. Hi, nice to meet you again.
Hey Tibor.
Again.
Long time no see.
yeah. Congratulations. How do you say your new album, by the way? Croasis.
It's actually Old Greek. In Old Greek,
Okay.
would spell like Akrasi.
Akrasi.
So whatever you say it. We butchered the name anyway. We are not Greek. So
Akrasi. Anyway, congratulations on the new album. It was well received by the fans and the press as well. Are you happy with the reactions?
actually, we're more than surprised how positive the reactions turn out, because it's a changing album. We have a couple of new people in the band. The sound is not that brutal. It sounds a little bit more laid back, actually on purpose. And well, we are super happy. The reactions have been fantastic. We entered higher chart positions than ever before, and what I see so far from the numbers, it's the most successful album we did so far.
Great to hear. And how is the chemistry within the band with the new members?
Actually, it's fantastic so far. We are on tour since like more than 10 days so far. We had, of course, a couple of rehearsals, video clips and stuff, but in the end, you know how people work, like from a personal point of view, if you live together in a very, very small habitat. And a tour bus is very small. If you think about, we're 14 people in one bus, like for like 2-3 weeks in a row, and so far it's very cool. Everybody's happy and helps each other, and good times.
Great. And do you follow what the previous Obscura members do nowadays? Have you heard the Alkaloid album, for example?
Yeah, I know the guys, and I was in touch with Christian Münzner 2 days ago, and also with the old guys, even with the very first lineup. So it's fine, all good.
If the atmosphere of your music, Thulcandra or Obscura, could be transferred into a movie or a painting, what would it be like?
Good question. Actually, we did that, or tried to catch that attitude with our artworks. So we have Orion Landau, who is responsible for the artworks. Like we're working together. He get a lot of input and ideas from my side, and together we are finalizing the artworks, and they are actually related to the music. So we try to catch that. So if I have to answer it like literally, I would say the artworks of the albums.
All right. And would you like to compose a soundtrack if you have the chance? Or participate in a soundtrack?
I don't do projects or anything like that. So if I would write a soundtrack, then it would be for my own movie. So I'm also working in movie in that business, and I would only write a soundtrack for a movie I do myself, not for other people. So sorry.
And what would it be like, that kind of movie, if you make it?
Good question. Not a horror movie, not a psycho thriller or anything. Something like out of the box. I really like French cinema, so with ideas that are a little bit different than the usual plot, you know, like all of those Hollywood productions. So, well, who knows? Never thought about that.
Do you like Lars von Trier movies?
He
Kind
has,
of obscure.
Yeah, it depends on the mood. Sometimes it's okay, and sometimes I just think it's like not exactly what I would like to watch. So.
Have you thought about doing a new side project?
No. I have my 2 bands since 14 and 13 years, and this is exactly what I focus on. The only ever side project, so to say, was Death DTA. I was part of it from the very first day in 2012, but this is something different, because this is actually the reason why I picked up a guitar 14 years ago.
Okay.
And well, being in that tribute is really something special. But I get a lot of offers for doing tours or like projects with other bands or other known bands, but I reject all of that. I have Obscura and Thulcandra, and this is what I'm doing.
So you want to challenge yourself in a different genre?
No.
You mentioned you like Portishead, for example, so I thought maybe you would do some trip hop thing.
Well, there are some ideas for the next album of Obscura.
Okay.
So good that you mentioned Portishead, so I don't spoil too much.
Cosmology is one of the leading concepts for the band. Are you interested in astronomy and science?
As well, yeah. So basically, I'm a I'm a master of engineer, and I had to do a lot of with physics, and I'm also interested in astrophysics, but at the same time with philosophy, and somehow I try to find the link in between, and this is what blends in the lyrics completely. And I'm also interested in religious views from different religions, so I'm pretty open-minded, and I always try to capture what other people might see in, well, the way of life and approach to life or death in that end. So somehow this all merges into the lyrics I'm writing, and I'm very interested in that as well, but not something particular. I'm reading pretty broad. For example, I did around, I don't know how many interviews during the last weeks and months to promote the new album, and a couple of people really suggested a couple of other books, and I have a list, wrote that down, and I'm getting through that, so who knows.
Do you have a favorite star, planet or constellation for any reason?
No, not at all.
Okay. Do you believe in intelligent alien life?
No. Pretty simple, no.
Okay, so let's say there are aliens out there. If you could choose any kind of art or piece of art that represents humanity to an alien race, what would you choose and why?
David Hasselhoff, because it's out of the box and bizarre. That's what humans are.
That's a good point. And how do you see mankind as it is nowadays, or who we are nowadays?
That's a good question. I mean, some people mention already we are close to the Third World War. Who knows? On the other hand, since technology is taking over more and more from our social life, I think that's very interesting where this is all going through. If you just see all those, gated communities like Facebook, like Instagram, all those YouTube, it's basically, it's just a forum, just different forums that are like separated from each other. And what I see, especially in the younger generation, that most of the people seem to live in their own bubble these days. They don't realize that there's something different than just writing a couple of stuff on Facebook, and this is the only way to reach like other people within their social life. So actually they somehow shift from reality.
I agree.
So that's what I see these days, but I'm not sure if that's weird. I see a lot of things, we are traveling around the world, and that's basically everywhere the same. It doesn't matter if you're in Indonesia or if you're in Germany, in South America, everybody's sitting in front of his iPhone, and it's just completely off reality. So that's weird.
And what are your thoughts on the challenges that Europe is facing at the moment? I'm talking about terrorism, immigration.
Oh, well, that's a hard question. So I'm not sure where all this is leading through. I mean, I'm very interested in politics. I read a lot of different newspapers, like from different political parties. So just to get a own view. If you're only getting information from one source, I mean, you get pretty much led into what you have to think. So I try to get information from different sources. So it's hard to say. I don't have a clue how much things are made up by the media and what is actually the real situation in Northern Africa, for example. There are extreme tensions here and there, and I mean some things that happen these days is you cannot neglect, like in Brussels, like in Paris, and but also in everywhere in Northern Africa right now. I'm not sure where this is all going through. I don't have a clue. I don't work for any intelligence or so. So who knows? It's not the best time these days. But well, since the last war we had like 70, 80 years, and since history is always repeating itself since thousands of years. Sooner or later that will happen again, I think. I don't want to be pessimistic, but well, humans don't learn out of history.
That's so true. Do you see any radical changes in your country because of these terrorist attacks? Or even because of the immigration?
In some parts, but the media is pretty much leading that. So, and making up things that are smaller than they actually seem to be. And there's definitely a shift in society in how about thinking about or approaching to work with immigrants. So this is something people should consider a problem, because 70 years ago half of Germany was like, well, a refugee or have been refugees. Like everybody knows what happens after the Second World War, during Second World War. So and everybody back then tried to move to Northern Africa or to South America, and now you just close the border, and if you don't solve the problem at the root, I think, but who knows what is the root actually, so who knows, and it's a weird situation. And to come back to your question, in Germany it's definitely a shifting thought within the society, but I don't have the senses or don't know how far this is going to. Who knows? I mean, the media has the power to shift that a little bit, but who knows?
Let's go back to music. With Cosmogenesis, you started with a concept that represented the beginning of existence, and Omnivium was the evolution, and Acrosis represents consciousness, right?
Yeah, like developing your own consciousness.
Okay. So the next one is supposed to be about the apocalypse, right? Do you think that the gap between Acrosis and the next one is going to be smaller?
It's going to be a different album. We're actually already writing. We have 7 songs, and we are starting to collect, like getting real into songwriting in the next months. And it still has the same outlines of the last record. So, I mean, every album from the first demo to now, you hear what band is playing, but it's always changing a little bit to keep things interesting. So for the next album, I would like to work a little bit more with orchestras, but not like Metallica's S&M, just to add an orchestra to a song, but include it like into the composition completely. So this is going to be very interesting, and we have a lot of options with the new band members that are taught by a couple of university degrees, and we also have like the father of Linus Klausnitzer, who worked for the Wagnerians, he worked in Bayreuth Festspiele, so we have a couple of contacts to people who might making this album really special. So we have a lot of ideas, and also the Portishead idea is still there, so I don't want to spoil too much, since we are right now playing shows for Acrasis, and the next album is not before 2018, will not drop before 2018. So, but I think it will not take another 5 years.
The concept is a bit darker than this album, so it's going to be a darker, more heavier album.
It's so what I wrote so far. It's a little bit more neoclassic, and of course, an album that deals with the apocalypse, the ultimate end of all things, cannot be a happy major writing song.
Do you have any idea for the artwork?
But I don't tell you.
If you could extend your merchandise with any crazy thing, what would it be?
That's a good idea. I mean, Ghost have a couple of good ideas. Maybe we are looking into that. But I will not make like Obscura wine or something that's nothing that works. Maybe something German. German engineering books made by Obscura or something. Who knows? I don't have a clue yet. But since we are doing most of the merchandise our own, like most of the designs are made by ourselves. Whenever we have an idea, we just do it.
Another subject, you got some issues last year with the US State Department office. More musicians complained about the same thing, about how hard it is to get there. Plus you lost a bunch of money with even just claiming the visa. So, any progress on that?
Well, our visas got in the end denied after 1 year because we got a letter dated on the 12th of November, and we should answer it until the 6th of November, and the day after we got that letter we got the denial of ours, and so everything. I don't know, I completely understand that you need borders, that you need the visa process itself. There's some sense for it, but somehow it should work. And we are a band, we're doing everything by the books, we're paying our taxes, we are a business in the United States, so everything is cool. We don't try to sneak through a border in Canada or Mexico or something like that. Everything is as it should be, and the problem is, what I see, we lost 15,000 euros only on that. We almost got bankrupt as a band. We had to cancel the tour 2 days before it started, actually, so all the fans, but also the promoters and the other bands that, we share backline, we always try to help each other, they all had the same problem as we had. We haven't been there, and but all of our gear was already in the United States. So we had a couple of friends and also companies that we work with since many years that helped us. But in the end, it was a real problem, and we cannot make it to the United States in 2016 at all. It doesn't make sense. We lost everything. We have like a truck full of merchandise still in the United States, and we don't know what to do with that. So that's really a problem. But we will never give up in any way. So I hope we can make it in 2017. And well, we are talking about a couple of tours right now, and I hope it works next time. But to be honest, the United States is the only country on this planet that has those problems. I can play everywhere in the world, and we did actually play in most countries. Never had those problems, only in the United States. And it's the only country in the world that asks a ticket to enter the country. And the ticket is 1,000 euros per person.
And it's still a lottery.
It's a lottery if you get it in time. So they should probably rethink the process.
Some of your fans recommended the crowdfunding for that problem to help you financially.
Yeah, but I would never beg for money from our fans. I mean, they support us while buying the merchandise, getting tickets to concerts. Why they should pay double? That's stupid. So that I would not feel honest with that. That's it. I mean, if you have real trouble, like a couple of other bands in the United States, for example, had like a big bus accident, bus broke down, and a couple of band members got injured. And since they don't have health insurance but needed operations and everything, I completely see the point. But for us, we lost money, yes, but it's not the fault of our fans. It's the fault of that immigration system, and I would never ask for money from the fans for that. No.
Do you see any chance to go back to the United States in the near future?
We are working on a couple of tours in 2017, and I hope it will work out. We work our asses off to get this done, and as I mentioned, it's a lottery. So gambling. Out of 4 visas I applied for in the United States, I got 2. The other 2 got denied. So out of reason. Who knows? Maybe the 5th is like.
And what are your plans for the rest of the year?
For this year, we're doing a headlining run in the end of 2017 in Europe. We play many European festivals, but also in Asia. We're working on shows in India, in Australia, in South America for September, and well, then the year is over, and we're writing a new album.
Do you have any tour story to share with us?
Well, last time we played in Norway with Death DTA, our tour manager cleaned a bar with a Norwegian Grammy winner. That was very interesting. And when he was throwing out of the window, his flying wheel was flying next to him, but didn't survive. Great evening.
What was the worst food you ever had on tour?
The worst food? I guess no food. Yeah, we're not complicated in terms of that. Usually I try to eat local. For example, we played in Belgrade yesterday. I loved the food there. Today we're in Hungary. We try to get something local, and we don't go to McDonald's or we don't go to Burger King or anything. No. I think it's a matter of respect. If you're visiting another country, it doesn't matter if it's like in the Arab Emirates, in South America, in the United States, wherever. Show a little respect, try the local culture, that also includes food.
That's cool. Give any message to your fans?
Well, thank you for supporting us. Still 14 years long lasting history of the band, and well, I hope it lasts another 14 years and another albums you may listening to and like to, and well, see you on tour.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.